can you give us like a little timeline of your entrepreneurial story? Like, since when are you an entrepreneur? How did all of this start? And yeah, maybe just what you want to share at the moment, some highs, some lows, like what are like the biggest milestones for you on your...
Yeah. First of all, audio quality is okay, video quality, just okay.
Perfect. You look wonderful.
Okay. Just because when I'm freezing, let me know. We are talking about trauma maybe, so a freeze in between might happen, might be due to the technique, might be due to Ilan's nervous system. So, basically, I didn't know the word entrepreneur or something like that, or fempreneur, but I knew within every cell, I will never be able to work for somebody else. So it's like, what is left? If you're not super rich born, it's left that you were an entrepreneur. And I didn't have a mindset. I didn't have education around that. I just couldn't breathe without doing my own thing. And the very first times I did my very own thing was, I think, immediately after moving out of my parents' house, then a year at the countryside, and then I moved to Berlin, and then I somehow did this I could say breakthrough, I do not know into which direction, but stepping into 2 years of working as a sex worker was something like, I am meant to be free, and I'm meant to disappoint every expectation that is put on a good girl in this culture. And I'm the last one promoting that women should work as a sex worker, because it's really, really a tough job and you need so many healthy boundaries. To some extent, you can't grow up in this culture and have that many healthy boundaries that you would need for that. So I'm not promoting that. However, I am promoting that we step out of the box that is put on us, like the framework of expectation of role models, like break free from that as radically as you can do, as early as you can do, just because everything after that is so much easier. And then after 2 years, I realized, wow, I was so free stepping into sex work. I'm even freer by quitting sex work now. So this was such a breakthrough for me. This kind of, I do not have to keep breaking the taboo, because the taboo didn't exist anymore in my world. So this was my victory. This was my freedom. This was the breakthrough I was going for subconsciously when I stepped into sex work. And after that, so many things were so much easier, because it was like, I do not know. I remember girlfriends in my age at that time being busy with, PhD, etc. And I was like, I was even unable to connect to this kind of stress, because the world wasn't the official world. It was my world, again, because I had lived as a kind of shadow existence for 2 years. So after that, I had this kind of freedom, what to do with my time, what to do with my life, just because I have disappointed so much around. It was like, my fame is ruined. I can do whatever I want. And with that, I started gathering women, to be honest, something like 3 women and me. This was my first kind of women group evening, and we were dancing until the neighbors came, and we were shouting, and we were like pretending to be angry until we were really angry, etc. And all of that made me breathe again. All of that made me like, wow, I can scream, I can feel myself, I can dance, I can create my own kind of body work out of my tantra seminars, bioenergetic seminars. I have done a few seminars and trainings, however, no true qualification. I was just, the thing that you are paying here is me and my anger. And it's not, this is my qualification, and this is my certificate, and this is my... And I never recovered around this kind of cultural respect from certificates. Quite the opposite. Just a little footnote, because it's so famous amongst sex workers, I think. The richest men, the most famous men, people from Hollywood, men who can afford everything, the most intelligent men, professors, they are the unhappiest ones. And sometimes they are the most aggressive ones. So not at all those ones who enjoy, who love themselves, who are curious about the contact. So it was like I burned this conditioning of trusting the certificate or the outer appearance of people, including myself. And after that, I just kept going with what made me feel alive. And that was for something like 10 or 11 years, offering evening circles for women, gathering around certain topics like self-love, like rage, like how to deal with men, how to overcome sexual self-hatred, etc., how to deal with hypersensitivity, because I am my first student and I needed to figure out how to live in this world with being hypersensitive. And then trauma healing, I went into somatic experiencing, somatic trauma research. And this is the milestone of my life, I think. Like not talking about people in a way of, oh, we need to talk about your belief system and your mindset, etc. I do not believe in a mindset. I believe in a nervous system. I do not believe in us being women or men. I believe in nervous systems. I believe in human beings as animals. And because we are animals, we are good. Because we are animals, we are strong. Because we are animals, we are on point. So there is nothing that I love in human beings more than their animalistic nature and their mammal being, their nervous system. And then I think subconsciously started translating this research around individual nervous system, individual trauma. Me, Ilan, personally, I'm traumatized because I was 5 years old and my favorite rabbit died due to a dog in the neighborhood or something like that. So there is an individual trauma, and I somehow studied the kind of wounding in the individual nervous system, and then this global crisis started in my awareness. This kind of climate change is something real, and then other triggers like 5G, internet, etc. So I was waking up, and then Corona, of course. I was waking up more and more. Like we need our rage, we need our action mode. We have to stop collapsing. We have to stop teaching our children to imitate their parents just because their parents are burning this planet right now. So I started translating the science of trauma of the individual nervous system to the collective nervous system, and also to the internet as another mirror or reflection of the collective nervous system. And that is why today I also experience myself as an embodiment researcher and as a somatic researcher. But that doesn't hinder me from stepping out into the internet as well, because I experience the internet as a reflection, as an imitation of us as a collective nervous system. So to some extent, I'm not so much into psyche or mindset or individual stuff. I'm more into, let's buy the time for dealing with our individual childhood traumas by saving this planet first. Because then in 10 years, it won't be over. It will be just the beginning. And we are meant to be good. And we are designed as good beings, and we deeply deserve to be happy. However, even happiness is a training in the nervous system, because let's be honest, it's more convenient to stay depressed because it's raining, right? So like how to be radically happy, that's a challenge. But I'm into challenge. I'm into that. And I'm deeply into questioning everything that I was conditioned around, just because I think let's not oversee the hidden mistakes. So many people believe in the mass is going into the right direction, and I'm like, oh, obviously not. Obviously not. So let's just do a mistake the other way around, because that is what might save our ass on a global level. We are in a thrilling era. And this is serious. And it can be a lot of fun. And it isn't at the moment. Yeah. Yay! Thank you so much for being into full aliveness, no matter what. This truly means a lot to me. I have dedicated my whole work for over a decade to this topic. How do we become fully alive? And I have put everything that I found together in the so-called online pool, and you will find the link in the description below, and you are super welcome to check it out.